Capricorn. Capricorn and birch people, birch wood. Because the tree that was with me has been cut down yesterday. A bit upset about that, but anyway, let's not dwell on that. I've laid your cards, and we're looking at quite a sort of busy, very energetic, very passionate reading with a beautiful ending, a quite a complex potential ending. And I think it's to do with balancing passion and love. So where your heart is and where your passions are. Oh, we've got the J's now, 2 J's. So maybe that's what it'll be. They're above me and they're listening. I can see them in the forest. Okay, it's going to be J. And it's about commitment in love and sort of balancing it with your passions. Something like that. Not sure it was going to come out because it's quite sort of busy energy. It's lovely, very energized, lovely energy that you've got, whoever's turning up to this. Interior, if that sounds like it's yours, stick around. In the interior, you are being like the judgment. There's a sense of something waking up in you. Now, it's either this passion that is at odds with who you love or what you love, or sort of surprising to bring into that love world, or it's a revelation around commitment, a revelation of some sort, or love. I don't think it's a revelation around passion. We're talking really about love because that's what's in the basis of the reading. So these deeply watery graves, the people being woken up, as if, and the sense of going, oh God, I get it, I see this as a kind of a major aha moment. The angel is waking them up, something divine you're listening to finally, that's bringing up some deeply sort of forgotten part of your consciousness, and you're starting to realize what something is that's going on. The blue trees I can see in the background, which sort of reminds me a bit of like a kind of Dr. Seuss book, or my favourite book ever, Go Dog Go. I don't know if anyone knows that one. It's got all the things I love in it: trees and dogs and parties, which I do as a profession, and it's so funny and sweet. Anyway, there's these very surreal coloured trees in it. You know, it's got that kind of Zeus type. He's called P.D. Hartman, I think, the guy that did those, but it's very like Dr. Zeus. Super surreal, cartoony illustrations. So something about that, maybe Go Dog Go. The fact that it's reminding me of Go Dog Go. Okay, the plot of Go Dog Go, I'll put a little link to it below. Little link, is lots of cars, lots of dogs rushing around in fast cars, and one main male dog who keeps bumping into a female poodle, and she has a different hat on every time. It's like a refrain that runs through the book because it's not very nonsensical. It's not a proper narrative. It's, you know, dogs going here, dogs doing this, blah, blah, blah. But every time he bumps into her on a new page, she says, do you like my hat? She's got a different hat. She's sporting it. And he says, no, I do not like your hat. And she then comes back in the next few pages, do you like my hat? No, I do not like your hat. And eventually, at the end of the book, sorry, it's no spoiler, this is a children's picture book, he does like her hat. I think she has a tower of hats eventually. And then there's a great big rushing off to a party, which is up a pink tree in this case, a huge pink tree, and they go up a ladder, and on top of the ladder, this huge sort of spread canopy is a huge party going on with people playing tennis and doing all sorts of things. It's just wonderful and joyful. And but the hat, do you like my hat, is sort of coming into my mind. It's like you might have been playing the field a bit, or you suddenly realise what you do like in someone else. You suddenly appreciate their unique, crazy style, their themness, you know, this kind of crazy expression. Or maybe the hat, it sort of indicates something sort of magician-y or intuition-wise. But anyway, there's a sort of moment of, oh, aha, yeah, I do, I love that. And then that gives way to a big celebration. It's almost like a wedding, but it's not. It's a sort of party for everybody. So, a big revelation. That all came out of the blue trees that I can see in the background. Something deeply buried in you is waking up. And how that makes you act in the outside is with the Two of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, getting very committed around what you love. This is where this reading is going, I think. You know, the Two of Cups, finding your true partner. There's a caduceus here and the frowning lion. It's funny that he would frown over such a beautiful union. A union of two very, very different people. Different qualities they have in them, and they see each other in such a lovely way. So he's quite wild and animal-like with his print and his red wreath, and she's very pure and classical. And yet they're looking lovingly at each other. I mean, she actually has her eyes closed, a bit like, you know, when you're trying to say you love a cat and you kind of narrow your eyes. She's got that expression, but he can't take his eyes off her, and he's reaching his hand to her. So there's a kind of passionate part of you that's realised, wow, I actually want to be a bit more committed here. I found something I want to commit to. I found an idea or a person that really I love. I don't want to let go of. I've had this revelation. And the Knight of Pentacles, he's steady, he loves, he's consistent, he's committed. And I'm seeing his red seat that he sits in on his black steed here, and the red gloves. And his sprig of kind of parsley-like stuff in his hair, but he's also looking very determinedly forward. You've got your eye on what you want to commit to, and it's something that it makes you deeply happy. It's a good commitment. This is beautiful. At the basis of the reading, the Page of Cups. You know, an enamoured, youthful part of yourself that wants to, pages all are in messages, so that wants to give them messages of love. I'm being warmed by the sun as I'm saying this. It feels really lovely. Look at the imaginative scene of looking into this kind of surreal scene of seeing a fish in your cup. He wants to bring this imaginative world into a reality. So it could be that you've got a project that you're working on that you really love and you want to commit to, or it could be a person that makes you feel very imaginative, and you're sending these romantic, poetic, slightly naive feelings towards them. His blue headdress is standing out, and the dot in the middle of it, and the turquoise of the fish, which is a different blue from everything else here. Something very unique about that colour. I've never noticed that before. So it's definitely a different blue from everything else that's going on. How do I get it to focus? And so there's something unique and wonderful, and turquoise is sort of feels like it's otherworldly. That is at the basis of this reading, that you feel very loving towards, that you want to send messages to, and you want to send messages out about. This is wonderful. Another youthful energy and something in the recent past, which is, this is the dance that we've got going on in your reading. It's between these two energies, the knight, the wands and the cups. So the cups are what we're really having a revelation about, what we're getting online with. And the wands is what you've had in the recent past. You know, this character can barely concentrate for more than 2 seconds. Why can I not make that? Is it wanting to look at the sun? He's super excited, looking at the top of his wand for inspiration. I mean, it could be that you've been somebody who's been playing the field a bit at the moment, and so different people grab your attention and you've not been ready to commit, and now sort of there's this love growing, this sense of, oh, I might want to commit to this one. But in the recent past, there's certainly been rushing around looking at different things, getting excited by different ideas or people. And I'm noticing that he's looking at the tip of his wand where all these green shoots grow, this kind of exciting growth. But look at those 2 shoots nearer the 3 pyramids at the bottom. Those are a bit like our 2 cups. There's something you've missed in the recent past with all your passion. A potential outcome is the 10 of Wands. It's almost like, to me, this says that you can only really focus. A potential outcome would be that you would get stuck in your passions and miss the home that you could get to in this village, because you're so deeply sort of enamored with what what you like sexually or passionately in a creative sense, that you might become a bit kind of workaholic or kind of overburdened by your passions and not be able to put them down and go into this loving phase, which we've got. It's just a stage and it's just a potential, and you're coming up with a really lovely end. But that is, you are a very passionate person, whoever I'm talking to, so you can get quite caught up in those passions, and it doesn't leave room for anything else, is what I'm saying. Coming up in the near future, like we needed more convincing. The Ace of Wands. So, you know, more of your passion, a new idea. So a new idea from your passionate side. Is it going to work with your loving side? I think so. I think that's what's going on. You're being given one really compelling idea that involves your drive, your libidinous, creative, sexual, or, you know, all these things are indicated with this. So a new passionate idea, it could be a new passionate project or a person that really lights your fire, and it's coming in soon. I'm seeing this slightly sort of like glass, like house at the top. It's like an igloo or a sort of beautiful mythical castle. It sort of almost seems too good to be true, and all these leaves are now starting to really grow. It's like spring. So you're very, very woken up. In your attitude, we've got the Ace of Cups, another Ace, so two aces, 2 pages, lots of young, fresh energy, a 5 of Cups, and the Magician. So the fact that we've got another, so it's just, this is such a beautiful reading because it's all about, again, the interplay between what you passionately love, passionately want to go after, your libido, your creative drive, and your heart. And I just think they're coming together. That's what this reading's about, because we've got those 2 pages in those 2 suits, and we've got now the 2 aces. So in your attitude, you are in love with something. There is something new that's surprising that you love. You know, it's backing up this Page of Cups. It's very pure. It's interesting because the lotus leaves that are on his tunic are now in the water. There's all these yods of blessings, those little drops, the purity of the dove and the communion wafer, the water flowing, the emotion flowing out and being able to give back. It's absolutely gorgeous. So you are in love. We know that, with something, or feeling very loving towards someone or something. And then there's the Magician, but in between the Magician, which is you, I think, the Magician has everything. He has all the pentacles, the suit, the swords. He has a pentacle. He has all the aces, sorry. An ace, he's got your 2 aces, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. He's also got the pentacles and he's also got the swords. And through that and his will, he makes happen what he wants. So we know you've got 2 of them. We know that this Ace of Cups will be waking him up somewhat. But in between getting to your will, your Magician, where you make this happen, where you grasp this and you commit to what you love, is the 5 of Cups. Disappointment in love before, disappointment in something that's gone wrong with what you've loved. So you're looking at that disappointment and you're not turning around and looking at your 2 cups here, which we know you've got in your outer world, the way you're looking. There's still part of your consciousness that's caught up in something that's not worked, either with a creative project or a love, or something you've really loved and that you can't quite get over that disappointment. But because the Magician's here, I think you're going to, and because of the Ace of Cups, come on. So he needs to sort of, that power of the Magician who says, as above, so below, I'm going to make this so. My will and all these skills that I've got are going to make this so. Because of him, I know you're going to be okay. But it's just, you've got the slight hiccup of the disappointment that's in your psyche that you're still sort of ruminating over. But I don't feel, with all the positive cards that are here, that can overwhelm this reading. It's just something to be aware of. Don't focus on what hasn't worked in the past. Focus on what is working now. That's what we want you to know. And if it's a relationship that you've been in for a long time, maybe there's been some disappointment in that relationship, but you're remembering to that was, and funnily enough, the first idea that came to me is you're remembering to passionately recommit to this person. Maybe you've been slightly neglecting them, but actually you've remembered everything that you love about them. So if it is that, don't dwell on what's gone wrong between the two of you. Remember everything you do love them about them, however different they are. And in your environment, so we've got your Knight of Wands, more of your passion that you want to follow around. The Eight of Wands, passionate messages, communication, and the Page of Wands. So again, if we look at it in the same instance, your kind of libidinous, slightly out of control, follows your passions, does what you want, slightly selfish, passionately driven. I mean, I love the energy, but doesn't take others into account, is surrounded by these messages that you now want to get out, and the consistency of the Page of Pentacles, who's like our Knight of Pentacles that's in your exterior. Something a bit more consistent, grounded, responsible, restrained, is coming in to kind of control your passions. But it sort of then allows you to send out with intention, a bit like the magic of the magician. Send out your messages of love, or your work, your poetry that's inspired by all this wandy energy, or your social media, your communication. When you bring the consistency and the sort of steadiness of these pentacle energy in, I think it kind of slightly tames and makes more palatable all this incredible passion that you have, which I love. I don't want you to get rid of it. It's just, you're growing it up. There's a revelation. In your hopes and fears, the Nine of Wands, you want to be able to be the wounded healer. You want to defend yourself. Maybe this is the disappointment creeping in. You're using your passion to defend yourself, and maybe this is the basis of this reading. Maybe it's always been a safer space for you to get into your sexuality, your creativity, your drives, whatever those are. They don't need to be sexual or creative. We had storage issues. So what I was saying was, maybe it's been a safer space, your hopes and fears, to be defended with your passions, defensive of your passions, rather than to let anyone in through this gate. Maybe it's safer than your heart in the past. Maybe that's been a space that's been able to be relied on, where you felt fully powerful, and the youthfulness of this Page of Cups and this Ace of Cups, it doesn't feel as established, and because of disappointments maybe in love, you've wanted to rely instead on your passions. And I understand that, but where is it all going? Amazing, the Star. I think you finally get aligned to your North Star, become open and emotional. She's naked here, are able to pour out your love. It's so radically different from all this passionate, wandy energy. I mean, she is passionate because she's totally aligned to what she wants to get done in life. But she's suddenly now not defended like your fear of your Nine of Wands, where you feel that you have to watch out once your heart's involved. Now suddenly you are listening to this potential partnership. Let's get some capping cards before we get stopped again. What have we got here? The Fool and the King of Torches again. Now we've got the Knight, the Page, the Nine, the Ten of Wands, the Nine of Wands. So the nine, 10, Page, Knight. We haven't got the Queen of Wands here, but we've got now the King of Wands. This is amazing. So it's sort of saying to me that you're never not going to be this enormously passionate person. That's obvious. But this passionate person is setting off on a new journey. Your king, your sort of most restrained, mature version of your passion, is able to start a new journey. And why don't you do it with the full gusto and openness of the Fool? Why don't you do it in a new way? I think that's what this is saying to me. It's lovely. Let's get a comment from the Mystical Moments on this reading. Is there anything else we need to look at? the star again. Oh, I love it when this happens. You know, these are 78 cards. I've just pulled one, and we're getting the star again. It's so optimistic, this reading. And in this version, we've got the Taj Mahal, I always think of, behind. So it's as if building a place of reverence for your love, being able to use your passion to realize your own dreams, but also offer them to those that you love. Maybe it's creatively, maybe it's in real life. It's so lovely. So 2 stars, this is such a confirmation. The star is such a healing card, and it's emotionally healing. It comes after the tower, but it's also aligning to what you need and what you want in your life. So it's not going to take away any of your passion. Wow, now the Wheel of Fortune. This is incredible. This is a big turning moment for you, Capricorn Jays, or the 2 J's, or magpie people. I'm just going to read from the Spiral of Fortune, just from the précis at the end of the reading, which says, breaking out of old patterns, change that liberates, getting a wider vision, the possibility of breakthrough, especially when a person seems to have gotten nowhere. Well, we know that you're breaking through with that judgment. You're breaking out of your old patterns. It's really moving and beautiful to see. Right, 2 more cards. One from the Enchanted Forest. Yeah, work on this. 8 of Pentacles. Just keep working on. It implies working on what you've always done so well, i.e. your passion. But now weave in, I think, because she's weaving this golden thread, weave in something new, weave in the heart. Like, we're not asking you to become less passionate. There's no way that you could with all of this drive here. It's just allowing the heart to come in now. That's what you're being asked to do. And, oh, what have we got here from the lure? The 9 of Swords. So this is not very positive. I'm going to pull another one because I'm not sure this was really meant to come out. But it's when you worry, and you worry a little bit you're being a bit over the top with your worry. It's nighttime worries. It does, I suppose, should probably be here because of the 9 of Wands. It's telling me that, you know, you are still a bit worried, the 2 9s, about defending your passions, and that there is an element of you that thinks, but if I change, will I be as effective with my passion as I have been? But you need to change the vision that's coming to you from that canopy above you. It's strange when I first saw that card, because my sister and I had written a book which had that exact idea in it, of sort of ghoulish images coming from a canopy of a bed. These ideas are all in the collective. But so I'm just, what else have we got coming through to address that? The Ace of Coins and the 2 of Coins, the 1 and the 2. We've already had no, so we've now got the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and now the Ace of Coins. So to address your overblown worries about how this might play out if you allow your heart in, we've got, no, come on, this is a practical new start. This could bring great wealth and great happiness and healing if you look after it properly. So, and it's the Ace and then the 2 of Coins. So it's sort of like, come on, go through the process of nurturing this, and pick this with the 2 of Coins, pick this new reality. So the 2 of Coins, like the 2 of Cups, come on, let's get consistent with our Pentacles, and let's meld in, let's stir in some new ingredients into the pot. We don't just have to go with our passions all the time. So, and have we got, no, we haven't got one of these. Yes, we've got the Spiral of Fortune. So now I'm just going to pull you a charm. What have we got here? Ah, the Goddess. Maybe you're in love with a goddess. Maybe the goddess just wants to preside over this. She's got the spiral, which is like the Spiral of Fortune that comes in lots of sort of ancient artwork. She's got that on her body. I don't know whether it will show up. I think I might be being a bit hopeful to think that you could see that. Oops. But I think what it's saying is that this change is coming. Breakthrough. breakthrough, allow that breakthrough, allow this new feminine goddess-like energy in. She's a bit like the star as well. She opens her arms, she's got open arms, she's ready to embrace this love, this incredible love that feels, with the double star, it feels as if it's meant to be, whatever it is that you're putting your heart towards, a person or a new project. So amazing reading, thank you so much. See you again.